Hello, it's Monday. We're back here on a Monday at the 3 o'clock-ish hour. Every Monday we bring you the live market updates regarding the housing market, the Phoenix area, and all the things to do with buying and selling homes. I'm here with my esteemed and beautiful co-host. May I introduce Miss Ashley Merlier.
Hello, everyone.
There she
I'm so
is.
excited to be here. And sorry we missed you last week. I hope everyone had a fabulous 4th of July. I know we all took a little bit of time off on Monday to enjoy our family and friends, and hope everyone had an amazing time and was safe
And did fun and safe things.
fun.
I didn't fire off too many rockets and firecrackers.
About that.
So every Monday we bring you information regarding the Phoenix housing market. Again, Rob Morales, our CEO Network, and Ashley Miller from Great American Title. We're here bringing information, as always, to keep you informed and to make very good decisions. But we're not financial advisors. We're here just to provide information, entertainment, because Ashley's kind of fun.
And just to give you our opinion.
Possibly, yes.
I mean, really, it is just our opinion.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Robert and I do, as I stated before, we talk throughout the week, and he sends me articles, we read articles. Prior to coming to our show, like, I have my notebook, like, I literally sit here, we take a ton of notes, and we kind of figure out, what do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to talk about? And that's why we're always saying, hey, comment, like, heart, share with your friends and family. We want to know what you guys want to know, because what you don't know, you don't know. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. But it is important that
I tried.
the purpose of the show is to educate based upon our knowledge that we get from a few sources that we have access to that not the rest of the community has access to.
Y'all know. But
Y'all.
give us some hearts. Give us some hearts. Give us some likes. And again, like Ashley said, leave your comments and questions, and we'll get to them as we get along. And if not this week, perhaps next week.
Next week. Ooh, next week I'm going to have to do the show.
No,
I
Are
get
you
in
doing
literally.
remote?
No, I'm not going to do it remote. I'm flying in from San Francisco. I'll come in at 2. I'm leaving the airport at 2, and I'm literally going straight from the airport to here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my girlfriends are amazing. They're like, Ashley, you work too hard. Like, you're coming to San Francisco with us.
That's why you got big muscles. I admire Ashley. She's very muscular. I want to get like that one day.
He's lying. So
But anyway, we're talking about houses, not your muscles.
Seller FOMO, fear of missing out versus buyer fatigue, man. Like, we're an emotionally exhausting market.
It's getting a little crazy in a different way. You know, for the last 6 months, and there's been many buyers out there wanting to buy a house, getting a little tired of running into like multiple offer situations. I'm still looking. We're making offers, and thankfully, it's not January. January, we'd make an offer, and this is me personally. So I'd make an offer for my own personal home, and it was like 20, 30 offers. And well above list, well above like 40, 50. And there was one house we made an offer on that was 100,000 over. Yeah. It closed 100,000 over. And it's just like, does that make sense? Is that reasonable? And I keep telling Violet, I'm like, this doesn't make sense at all. And even though we're comfortable, even though we have a good down payment, I feel we're priced out.
Well, so when we talked about like seller FOMO, so fear of missing out, sellers went from the beginning of the year, as you spoke about, with 10, 20, offers coming in over market, and they had to make a decision, or they just sat and they waited. Well, now we're becoming more steady. So now they're going, oh, crap, I should have, taken one of those offers prior to. So now they're thinking, well, should I just continue to sit on this, or should I accept one of the now, what is it, 4, I think I read today 5 to 10, or this is like 3 to 7 is kind of the average now. Yeah.
I would say I'm running in, me personally, and the offers that I'm making, I'm running to about 5 on average. Yeah. And I think buyers are being a little bit more strategic, where beginning of the year, just blatant, like 50, 60,000 over, whatever they had, whatever they could pull out of whatever funds, cash they could, now it's a little bit more mindful, where they're offering 5 to 10. I'm seeing about 10 on average over list price, or I should say appraised price, not even list price. Because if the appraised price comes in, 30,000 below the list, then the buyer's only going to pay you that 10,000 over.
Well, and I don't believe, and we chat about this, is I don't think that our market is going to correct itself in the next 18 to 24 months, meaning correction as in become a little bit more stable. It doesn't mean we're going to go back down. Yeah. And one of the comments you made earlier today was, I wrote it down. We're going to, no, you said we're paying for the equity in advance. And I thought that was a really cool statement. So we may be overpaying currently right now for a property. But again, not a financial advisor, but when you buy a stock, you're paying now for your future gains. So we're paying now for our future gains. And we may not get that return for what you said, 5-6 years, and that's a pretty good return.
Well, what side of the coin are you on? Are you on the to the moon side, or are you on the crash and burn side?
At this point, I'm head and tails, because I really think that I am going to start investing in some properties. I am going to take a little bit of that risk and invest in them, because I know that I might overpay now. However, in 5 to 6 years, I'm investing now for my future and for my children's future. So for sellers who have the fear of missing out, there's no fear. Just it's all about intuition. If you feel it in your tummy, in your heart, in your gut, and you're like, this is a good deal, do it. And you know that money is going to help change your future, and you have a place to go, or it's for a college fund, or whatever the case may be. Usually it's downsizers. Their kids are gone, or I guess that would be the best analogy, or they're moving out of state and they can buy a property in another state. But then for us buyers, I know that I'm probably going to overpay I am going to overpay. That's why I have my tattoo that says I am, because I'm very confident. I am going to overpay currently right now. Yeah. However, I know 5 years from now, what I'm overpaying is going to be my equity and then some, because the way that Arizona's market is, in my opinion, based upon the research I've done, we're leveling, but we're still going to keep steadily going up. Yeah, but you're a real estate agent, I'm not. Yeah. I just read a lot of books.
Well, I read a lot of articles and look at all the numbers, but I mean, I think it's very important to decide where you're going to be, because then that really, plays into the decision making you make. If you're on the side of the crash and burn, then the decisions you make will be in the anticipation of that. And you will find information. So if you're on the crash and burn side, you're going to find articles, you're going to find YouTube videos, you're going to find a lot of things that support that. And you're going to go around telling all your friends, oh, it's going to crash and burn, And then go find an agent that's going to tell you, hey, it's going to crash and burn. Look, see,
now it's going to crash and burn.
That guy's good. It's going to crash and burn. He's been a real estate agent for about 6 months now. And then same thing on the opposite side. If you find people that are like, hey, this is going to go to the moon, this is not going to stop. You're going if you follow Zillow, for instance, Zillow is predicting 14% year over year. Realtor, the NAR is only predicting like 2.5 to 3%. So it just depends on which information source you decide to stay on and stick with. I mean, that's really going to play into your decision making. For me personally, do I feel like there's going to be a correction? Absolutely. Every market, especially these gains, there's going to be a correction. I just don't know how significant, how long that's going to be. People were going to the moon in 2007, and look what happened
yesterday.
Then. Who went?
Who went to the moon yesterday?
The
guy from
Richard Branson.
Yesterday he did. We watched it.
He went outer space. So, but I understand what you mean. Outer space.
It's unpredictable. He did it. He did it. So one of the things I made as another of my notes is what you kind of mentioned is the psychology of real estate, the psychology of selling your home, the psychology of buying, and you're also talking about manifestation. That's really what you're talking about. Are we manifesting our destiny? So if I'm manifesting, I am going to buy investment properties. I know and I'm aware that I'm going to pay over. However, I am aware that in the future, I am going to profit on them. And that's okay. But I'm aware of it, and I'm making an educated financial decision. It's my psychology. So we have to start tapping into not listening to the noise and really coming in tune with what we want to do.
Well, we talked about that before too. We get so inundated with news, it's like it's hard to figure out who to believe and what to trust. And I think at the end of the day, you really have to just make decisions what's best for you on the day, because that very well could change tomorrow.
Oh, believe me. I have this little tray next to it's like about this big next to my bed that I keep so I take medicine every day, but that's neither here nor there. For my thyroid, if any of you guys have thyroid issues, you can comment. We can chat about that too. And it says, intuition is my superpower. Yeah. And it is our superpower. So we have to stop allowing all the noise to tell us what to do. So if you are a seller in the fear of missing out of selling your property, you probably would have made a little bit more money back in January, but that's okay. If you still want to sell your property and you know that you want to move out of state or you want to downsize to take the equity out to help your kids buy a car or college or your grandkids, follow your intuition. If you want to buy a property and you know you're going to pay a little extra, 5, 10, 20, whatever the dollar amount is, and work with an awesome real estate agent like Robert, who can kind of share the trajectory of that community, because you can narrow it down. You can get very granular. That community, the zip code, what's happened over the past 7 years, and educating yourself. We always talk about education, but it's your intuition. If your tummy is telling you, like the pit of your tummy is saying, let's do this, just do it. You know,
well, I do a combination
fear is an inhibitor. Like fear will literally take us down. Like, let's stop fearing selling our properties. Let's stop having buyer fatigue. Let's just go out there and do what we want to do and change all of these stats. Like, 12 to 18 or 18 to 24 months. And like, let's change it. Let's create our own future for real estate.
Yeah, there's a part of me that is very much, take a risk. And then the other half is, be very conscientious. And so it really depends on whom in front of, because there are people, like I said, that unfortunately they lean on me to give them the information that they want to hear. And if they don't hear the right ones, they're going to go find somebody else, which is fine. I mean, that's okay.
Well, have you ever, you're like your stockbroker, if you invest in stocks and like, invest in this, and you invest. And then you're like,
you see half my stuff right now.
Well, everyone's experiencing this. However, that is their job. They watch it and they tell you just follow through. So we talked about holdy, like what was that? What did you say? Hodl. Talking about hodl. There are a few things that I've invested in. And I'm like, you said it was going to be big, and they're like, just be patient, be patient, be patient. Patience, again, goes back to our psychology of what is the purpose of purchasing a home. What is your purpose? Like, your purpose is for you and Violet to create this beautiful life together, and you're patient because you know exactly what you want. Yeah. Mine is to buy properties and sell them.
Yeah, I mean, we unfortunately our culture and our society is just the real red pill popper society. That's kind of what I deem it. I mean, you want the magic pill that wants the $1 million tomorrow kind of thing, and that's how we've built our culture around. Like all our advertising, marketing. So like if you watch TV and you see a car commercial, that's automatically going to solve all your problems. You see a commercial about the lottery, automatically going to solve all your problems.
I do have a lottery ticket in my purse.
Oh, really? How much? Scratcher?
Oh, I do. I'm playing the Powerball for tomorrow.
What is it at?
I don't know. I don't care. It's just more for fun.
Anyway, hold on a second. So we're here every week talking about the housing market, and we're here for, if you have comments or questions, go ahead and put those in there. We're here every week to answer whatever you want. Anyway, just so like us, heart us. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button because you love us and you want more of this.
I would love to. There was one quote that I heard that says, "Everyone does what everyone else does."
That's groupthink.
Everyone else does what everyone else does. Yeah. Why are we doing that?
Well, see, we came off a market where everybody was buying. Last year, there was I think beginning of June, July, there was just this increase, this FOMO buying. Gotta buy. And it's got this trailing effect. I thought it was going to calm down. There was going to be a bit of a correction in January, which there slightly was, but then boom, we took off again, January up until this last month. And it's in the numbers, So, okay.
It's always in the numbers.
So I have a couple things. If you're looking at numbers, so this isn't scientific. This was from 4 weeks ago, or was it 3 weeks ago?
It was 3 weeks ago.
So 3 weeks ago we looked at this. This is the number of active listings in the Phoenix area. I did a little kind of
I think it was 440.
If you look around. No, that 3 weeks ago was like 33,000 or 3,300 or 3,300 listings. The week after, which was 2 weeks ago, was around 41, 42, and now we're about 51. So an obvious, layman kind of like estimate of an increase in supply. So you do see that. You do see that in these numbers, a little bit.
Can I ask a question that might change the trajectory of this conversation, and people can comment on this? So as we know, there's going to be a lot of forbearance and foreclosures coming to fruition.
You think so?
Well,
possibly.
So that's what they say, because
there's a lot of they out there.
We don't know. There is a lot of they. I'm curious if people want to comment or express their opinion on this. There's been a house that I've been watching that was in foreclosure, and then it was like going to auction. I'm like, oh, I want to buy it. And it's like going to foreclosure. And then it's an auction. Going to foreclosure. We're going to auction. They're dealing with the banks. It's neither here nor there. Should we really believe when they say that coming at the end of July, beginning of August, there's going to be a lot of foreclosures, and that's why people slowed down and buyers stopped buying because they're waiting for these properties to go in foreclosure, or why investors stopped buying for a hot minute, and why the sellers are now going, oh, we should have sold, but maybe investors slow down because they're just waiting for that to happen. I don't know.
It really goes back to where that person is in their investment, who the investment group is, who's advising all of them. Like I said, you can only make decisions based off of data, you know. And again, whoever you're in front of is going to provide you different data. So if you're on CNN, you're obviously going to get, you know, politically driven data versus, you know, Fox News. You know, you're going to get different information from different people.
Should we listen to the news, or should we reach out to somebody like you who can actually share, as you were sharing, that's real live data?
Yeah.
Because how often that's updated? What, every
minute?
That's updated every minute.
That's the MLS. Yeah. So I all you like to do is hit refresh and refresh the data.
Interesting.
So, but again, to that point, I mean, information, get it as much and from every angle, even the opposing view. Because even the opposing view will help you solidify whatever decisions you're going to make. You know, the foreclosure forbearance is due in September. The eviction moratorium is due in July. However, that eviction moratorium has been pushed back several months, and there is potential for that to be pushed back again. And that's the one thing people can't predict is intervention, government intervention in these things. Yeah, who knows? At the beginning of this year, I was like, hey, there's going to be a correction come like March, and never happened because we just push things further along. It's just the way things are set up right now. I don't know where it's going to go.
I believe, and this is just my opinion. Everything I say is just my opinion.
Hello, folks. This is Miller.
If I were somebody watching this show and you're a real estate agent, that I would connect with you because you do have real life data. So let's say I go on Zillow. Yeah. And I'm like, I see this property, like it's up and coming, or it's this or that. What posts online, if I were to take a property address that posts online with Zillow and go in, you can pull the back end because your data is more accurate and pull the data. So why not connect with an agent like you who can go in and do that? So if it's somebody no, but it's important because we only see what's delivered online, but you have a license. You went to school. You have a license. You have to do training like this, and you have access, and you have to pay for access to this information. So why are all the consumers, and I'm a consumer, so I'm not saying y'all like being mean, why as consumers are just trusting that when we could go to somebody who's licensed, who pays to have updated data? We have to do that.
Well, and that's loaded too, because there are 10,000 agents out there.
More than that, but
and there's more. I'm sure there's more as of today, and not all of them are informed. When I first started, doing real estate, I just did transactions. I didn't invest into knowledge and information. I went off the same information anybody else went to.
Use the keyword invest.
And over time, I felt it was very important to provide as accurate information as possible. And I try not to have too many opinions, because what happens is a lot of people, again, lean on you for that opinion and say, hey, you told me to do this. And well, not really, because the decision really comes back to you. All I can do is provide the information. And all I can do is share that, hey, we do have an increase in listings. Let me go back to the data. And when you pull up the reports, we've gone up. Last month we were at a half month supply. We're at 0.6. So we're slowly increasing our supply. Obviously not the same supply we had back, way back when in July of 2010, but we're slowly increasing. I mean, that's coming up too. Not only just
and those are the years at the bottom, you guys. If you see it where it says 10 up to 21.
See this little thing right here?
Yeah.
It's at a little bit more than half month supply.
Right.
It means if in the next 0.6 months, so a little more than half a month, if we were not to acquire any more new listings, we would sell out of our inventory in less than half a month.
Do we want to have a contest?
Uh-oh.
Okay, so right now, where's the inventory? Is that 50?
Lindsay says no news, by the way.
51,000?
Where are we at? Oh,
the inventory right now. So we're going to
5,100.
5,100. When I say 1,000, 5,100.
Oh,
Okay.
we're doing a contest.
So 5,100. I would love by next Monday.
Oh boy.
If people want to comment and could guess what the inventory is going to be next Monday.
Do we have a plus or minus on that?
It's kind of like Price is Right. You're either high or you're low. Whoever's closest.
Well, then I'll say $1.
Well,
just kidding.
You get my point. Like
whoever comes with the closest.
Price is Right, but something along those lines where we could have a fun contest where somebody could guess what they think the inventory is going to be next week.
So if you're out there, go ahead and guess the amount of inventory. We have either increase or decrease next week.
Yeah, increase, decrease, and what you think. And you can't just say, I think it's going to increase by 1,000 or decrease.
Give us a number.
I want a real number.
We want a real number.
5,273.
Ashley gets what she wants.
So then, like you said, by $1. No, it can't be a dollar amount. It has to be a physical number, and whether it's high or low, whoever's closest. It's literally like Price is Right. It'd be so fun. I won't get it right. I'm going on vacation. I'm not. Should we
write our numbers now?
No, I already know. It's 5,170 right now.
No, you said next week. We got to predict next week.
Well, I'm not predicting. They're predicting. We can't win.
Yeah, but I want to be part of the contest without having to win. So what do they win?
Ooh, I don't know. Where do you guys want to go? Do you want to
I'll look at Ashley's already guessing.
She said a steakhouse.
Ashley's saying 6,900.
69 just even.
Is that a final number? Do we lock?
Is that your final number?
Are we locking Lindsay in at 6,900?
Let's try. This would be so fun. I think we should do a cool gift card to a steakhouse.
Give me a winky face.
I love Bourbon and Bones. That's always a fun little steakhouse to go to, or maybe tickets to a ball game. I have access to tickets to a ball game for 2.
Are you taking them, or are they just giving them?
No, I'm just giving them. I don't need to go.
Oh, Lindsay says Starbucks.
Starbucks? Heck yeah.
Well, yeah. Starbucks is cheaper than a ball game.
I'll take ask what you want. Ball game, Starbucks, steak, but it'll be fun because this will help us understand where everyone else thinks it's going. It's kind of a cool little project.
Lock Lindsay in. Hold on. I have no lock in here.
What does it have to take?
I have no lock in.
Gabby, where are you? We need Gabby. I believe that few things, and we've talked about this all the time. Understanding, I'm always going to reiterate this. Education.
Yeah.
Having the right people on your side, like Robert, being a real estate agent. Education, right people, intuition.
Yes.
And truly being stable. Write your pros and cons. We talk about this all the time. Pros and cons. What's the good and bad about buying a property? How is it going, or buying or selling? So if you're buying, your pros and cons of that, you're selling, your pros and cons, and what outweighs each other.
And I would say, as a blanket statement right now, if you need a home and you're looking for a home and it's your forever home, and I mean, this is going to be the home that you're in, nothing's forever, by the way. I've been divorced once, so nothing's forever. But I mean, if it is, technically the forever home, it's not going to matter. You invest, and again, you're paying into your equity right now. So normally what people do is they buy a house today and they build equity, they build wealth in order to buy a bigger home, 5-6 years. As your family grows or your situation changes, you use that equity to build upon your next purchase or to move on in your next investment. It's just in this environment right now, you're already paying into your equity. So you're basically selling what I anticipate you're going to end up selling 5 or 6 years from now, because the average home ownership is about 7 years. So you're going to end up